everyone, Dan Stratton here, partner at CloudKettle. The Salesforce Campaign Object is a great method for marketers to be able to track the various touch points that all of their campaigns have across the leads and contacts that are associated with those. One of the questions that keeps coming up, though, with a number of our clients is how can you track the number of individuals and uniques that are associated with all the campaigns within a certain time period, such as the end of a quarter or the end of a fiscal year, as opposed to the default that happens within Salesforce that is just tracking all the associations that occur within a particular time period. To accomplish this, all we have to do is use one of Salesforce's formula functions within reports, and we can quickly determine how many unique individuals actually are being associated with these campaigns. Let's take a look. When we go into Salesforce and we start creating a new report, the first thing we need to do is click on the campaign category so that we can get into campaign reporting. From here, since we want to be able to track the actual unique number of campaign members that are associated with our campaigns, we will click on the Campaigns with Campaign Member function. When we do this and we go into our reports, let's group it by, say, type. So what this means is that we'll be able to go and start grouping all of our results by what is the campaign type that exists. This grouping can be used for any number of things, whether it's a standard, such as campaign type, or some custom fields that a lot of people will populate their campaign object with. From this, we will then go and change the time frame. So let's say all campaigns. We will then go and pick member first associated date. So what this means is we want to be able to say, when were these campaign members associated with our campaigns? And since we want to then go and track everything that is within this fiscal year, we will then use that to distinguish it using the relative date fields within Salesforce. We will then go and hit refresh quickly so that we can see now, if we just run this, within the fiscal year of, in this case, we're looking at 4,723 records, and you can see that they are broken into these 4 different campaign types. But the thing is that if there is a campaign member right now, and they are, say, associated to 3 different campaigns, they are going to actually show up 3 different times within this. So how do we go and distinguish what are the actual uniques? So going in, we now click on Add Summary Formula. Let's give our column a name. So we will call this, say, Unique Numbers. We will keep the output as a number since we are going to count the number of uniques. Let's change the decimals to 0. And then now what we are going to do is we want to pick which field are we going to count the uniques. So in this case, since we want to count the unique individuals, let's go and pick how many emails are there. And then what we're going to do is click unique. So for example, if dan.stratton@cloudkettle.com shows up multiple times, what this will do is now only count me once. Quick validation to make sure that our formula is accurate. Hit apply. We click run. And now all of a sudden we can see not just inside each of the unique campaign types, how many uniques there are, but we can also see overall how many unique individuals were a part of all of our campaigns. If you're wondering, why does this bottom total number not equal just an addition of all these individuals? This is because when we ran the formula, it's going to look at each individual grouping and how many uniques were inside of them. But then for the total, we can see this is, again, just the uniques that are there. So it's not simply adding up every one of these 4 numbers. What it's doing is actually truing out, this is the total unique members. So now we can see within our current fiscal year, we had 4,723 campaign members associated with our various campaigns, but that meant that we only had 1,873 uniques, meaning that we now know that on average, each member was associated with about 2.5 different campaigns. The beauty of this and using this unique function is that we can do it for any number of fields. So for example, maybe we weren't curious about how many email uniques we were, but what about how many companies were associated with all of our marketing? Again, we can use that same function. Now we can see that we are counting off unique companies as opposed to unique emails. We hit apply, we hit run, and now we can see that there is 1,142 unique companies that are associated with this. I hope that you found this tip very helpful. If you're looking for more tips and tricks on reporting or any other Salesforce insights, be sure to check out the CloudKettle blog. Thank you and have a great day.